America? We are back, baby. Welcome to another episode of America Unfiltered. We had a great show for you guys tonight. A lot of different things to talk about. I really want to get into some interesting things today. I want to talk about this new thing happening in the App Store, and apparently it's been going on for a little bit, but it's really just making headlines right now. There is now a app that is marketed as Tinder for children. Like what the fuck is happening in this world? Are we serious? We have enough fucking pedophile problems everywhere in this country. We have enough pedophile problems everywhere in this world. I mean, we still can't even get answers on Jeffrey fucking Epstein. But now we're just creating apps for kids to be groomed by pedophiles? What the fuck is happening? So there's this new app. It's called Wiz. And it's a Tinder style app. You swipe to meet friends. And they claim that there's an age verification process to try and not match adults with minors. But like anything, it's able to be abused. I mean, these adults are able to fake profiles of minors, match with minors, and then they ensue and have conversations with them. This is something that is grotesque, disgusting, needs to be made illegal immediately. We're going to talk about that today. I also do want to talk about some stuff happening with Candace Owens. So there's two different things I want to talk about. One, I want to talk about Candace Owens, and I want to talk about Erika Kirk. So most people, I'm guessing you have seen Erika Kirk went on Fox News today, and Erika Kirk talked about the conspiracy surrounding her husband's assassination. And it is 3 months to the day that Charlie Kirk has been assassinated. So I want everyone tonight, say a prayer, light a candle, do whatever it is. But Charlie Kirk was a great man. Charlie Kirk was a very honorable man. And while I may have disagreed with him about some things, Charlie Kirk was somebody who really embodied what it meant to be American in a lot of ways. Charlie was somebody who encouraged people to use their freedom of speech, and he almost made it cool to be conservative again for a lot of different people and brought millions back to the church over everything else. So I want to, like I said, just say a quick prayer for Charlie tonight. But I do want to talk about Erika Kirk and Candace Owens. This is something that's very odd to me. And then there was another thing. There's Candace Owens and Tim Pool are now attacking each other. It seems less important, but I think it kind of ties in together. So we're going to talk about both of those things today. Tim Pool's, I'm pretty sure it was the studio was shot up, or someone attempted to, someone shot at it. And Candace Owens is now alleging that it's Tim Pool's brother who did it. And Tim Pool responded. He did a long video responding. We're not going to watch the whole video, just a little clip of it today. But I find the entire thing to be pretty absurd. And I think if Candace is able to lie about things so openly because she's getting false tips from her Candace intelligence agency, as she calls it, then I think it gives us the need to question a lot of the other things she's saying surrounding the Charlie Kirk assassination. And I'm not saying she's all wrong. I actually believe some of the things she says are very credible. I think some of the things she has said should be investigated, but I haven't seen enough information to lock me into it yet. And another thing I want to bring up, and I've brought this up before, and I feel like it's important to bring up again, but I have literally had a viewer who watches my show who has openly told me and said that they have sent in false tips to the Candace intelligence line through her tip email. And then Candace has read those tips out on the show as if they were reality and claimed they were real things. So, if it's that easy to get false tips through to this woman, and Candace is just going to read them and take them and air them and claim them as fact, then we really should be questioning a lot of the things she's saying surrounding the Charlie Kirk assassination. And it seems that's what happened again with this Tim Pool thing. It seems one of her viewers called the police station, asked to get a report on the shooting that happened at Tim Pool's shooting or house or his studio or house or wherever it was. And the person who called gave the wrong date, so they weren't able to verify that there was a report that date. They said it happened on the 5th, but it happened at 1 a.m. on the 6th. And the report wasn't filed until after the attack happened, obviously, on the 6th. So we're going to talk about all that today, and then I want to finish the day talking about this. I don't know if you guys remember that DoorDash girl. The girl who was like, they're sexually assaulting me, as she broke into a man's house. This girl was let me walk you guys back in the story, I guess. This girl was a DoorDash driver, and I say was because she got fired and she's arrested. But this girl was a DoorDash driver, and when you DoorDash, you have an option. Do you want them to leave it at the door, or do you want them to knock? The person said leave it at the door. So what they generally do is they leave it at the door, they take a picture, and they leave. I've had this happen multiple times. But this woman decided, I'm not just going to do that. So she got to this guy's residence. His door was wide open, or it was cracked open, whatever it was, but he was sleeping on his couch naked. This woman, instead of just dropping the food at the door, taking the picture, and leaving like her fucking job title and job description tells her to do, she decided, I'm going to walk into this guy's house and film him sleeping naked and then post it all over the internet and then tell everybody that I'm a sexual assault victim. And this is what this woman did. She posted a video, it went viral on TikTok, and everybody was shitting on her. And then TikTok deleted it. Then she posted another video, goes viral again. She's getting even more shit. And she's like, I'm a victim, guys. Guys, I'm the victim here. What are you talking about? And everyone's like, what are you fucking talking about? If you walked into my house and I woke up, I would have shot you. I would have done this. I would have done that. Like, that's breaking and entering. That's invasion of privacy. You are literally posting nude photographs of a man you don't know who was a DoorDash. You ordered fucking DoorDash and you're the driver. So it's absolutely absurd that this woman thought she was sexually assaulted. This woman was utterly delusional, and she is now being sentenced. And there's some courtroom footage I want to go over today. That'll be how we end the show. But like I said, it's going to be a fun show today. It's not going to be a crazy long show. You guys could probably still hear it in my voice, or you might hear me sniffling a bit. I'm really not feeling well. I'm feeling very under the weather. Got my Gatorade here, trying to stay hydrated, trying to just get healthy again. I don't know. There's something going on in the area. Everybody I know is getting the sniffles, their throats hurting, whatever it is. I have it all right now. We're going to get through this, though. We're going to have a good show. It's not going to be a crazy long show, but it will hopefully be a fun one. I want to remind everyone to like, smash the follow button, leave a comment, let me know what you think about the show. Rate the show 5 stars on Spotify. Scan the code up in the corner. Join our Telegram channel to stay updated on all things America Unfiltered. But with that, I do want to get right into the show today. And I forgot to say, all comments will be read at the end of the show today. And every comment on this show will be read at the end of the show tomorrow. But let's get right into the show today. Let me bring you guys over to our main screen. So our first topic we're going to talk about is this pedophilic app. This thing is fucking absurd. This needs to be made illegal immediately. I mean, there is no justification for having an app that could potentially match children with adults. Especially in today's climate in the world. Especially with the arguments we're seeing online about people in California who want to call pedophiles minor attracted person. It's like, no, you're just a disgusting pedophile. And one of my viewers said it the other day, the only good kind of pedophile is a dead one. I think all pedophiles need to be chemically castrated and put to death. That's actually to answer another one of my viewers' questions as well. So one of my viewers said, is there anything you disagree with Nick Fuentes about? The only thing I would say I disagree on is our take on the death penalty. He is generally not for the death penalty. And I'm in between sometimes, but generally I am for the death penalty, although there are a few things I would like to change. One, I don't want someone sitting on death row for 7, 10 years, whatever it is. Like, if you're going to give them the death penalty, give it and give it. I mean, it should be done with pretty fucking quickly. That should be a given. And then second thing, I think it should be for very extreme cases. I think murderers, I think people who, and maybe not even all murder. Like, I think there's a difference between, like if somebody, God forbid, raped your kid and you went and you murdered them or something like that. Honestly, I don't think you should get the death sentence for that. But if you just go and, like, kill your ex-wife, like, death sentence, you know what I mean? Like, there are things where I think it is very necessary. If you were to molest a child, immediate death sentence, no questions asked. I don't understand why anyone would even argue with that. Terrorists, obviously, I think they should get the death sentence. I think there's very specific instances where the death sentence could be applied, and Nick is generally against it. And that is probably one of the only times where I go slightly against the Catholic belief, because I do know the Pope said he is not for the death sentence, although it is very argued within Catholicism. A lot of Catholics are for it, a lot are against it, and the Catholics who are for it are generally for it in the way I am. They don't think it should just be loosely handed out. They don't think anyone should get it. They do think it should be determined on a case-by-case basis, and it should be expedited as well. So that's something we could debate on another day, but I just thought I'd add that little input. But to get back into the main story here, with this Wiz app. So I want to read this here. Wiz, a teen friendship app with swipe to match features from French firm Voodoo, has over 16 million users, mostly age 13 and up. It uses age grouping, face scans, AI moderation, and human reviewers, yet safety tests showed adults easily faking teen profiles. No shit. No fucking shit. And verified cases include grooming assaults in Washington, Chicago, and beyond, plus over 180 Canadian sextortion reports since 2021. Critics push for the Kids Online Safety Act to enforce a duty of care on platforms amid ongoing concerns for young users. Yeah, like, I couldn't agree with some of these response like this, like, right here, boom. Like, who the fuck is inventing stuff like this? Who is inventing stuff like this? Like, great scene from Sopranos, by the way, right there. But it's like, who the fuck is inventing this? Who is the Dennis meme? Who is inventing this shit? Yeah, Tinder for who? It's like, what? Why do kids need Tinder? Kids need books. Kids need education. Kids need their parents. Kids need good role models. They don't need to be groomed by pedophiles on this fucking app or extorted by pedophiles on this app. There are going to be pedophiles pretending to be kids who get kids to do these sexually deviant things, and then they're going to video it, and then they're going to say, okay, if you don't do even more sexually deviant things, I'm going to release this to your family. They're going to like use kids' fear against them. That is a classic pedophile tactic, something that Jeffrey Epstein used to do, something that a lot of pedophiles are documented to have done. They are also going to take these images and sell them all over the dark web. They're going to abuse and use these children, and it's absolutely vile, grotesque, and disgusting that this has been allowed to happen. Sorry about, like I said, I'm sick, guys. So if I sniffle, if I cough, give me a break today, please. But yeah, how is this allowed to happen? How are we in a society that even allows this creation of an app? This app should not be allowed to be sold on the App Store. It's absolutely insane that it's even allowed to be promoted. Like, you have people who aren't even allowed on social media for their political opinions that aren't even that controversial, let's be honest. You know, you had people getting banned off Facebook and shit like that for talking about the COVID vaccine, but we're allowing apps to be sold that basically sell pedophilia? Like, these pedophiles can go on this app, fake a profile, match with a kid, groom this kid without the parents knowing. The parents, for all they know, their kid's talking to another 14-year-old. But you know kids, they don't always tell their parents everything. So this is something that really, really rubs me the wrong way. It's really awful. I mean, I really can't. I feel for a lot of the parents. Like, I'm not a parent myself right now, but I feel for a lot of the parents out there. And this is another reason. Again, parents, don't feel like you're like this crazy helicopter parent or feel like a bad person if you want to look through your kid's phone, if you want to double check and, you know, really check in with your kids, see what's going on in their life, because kids are being exposed to this. Kids are using these apps, and maybe it's not your kid, maybe it's not every kid, but there are kids doing it, and you should make sure your kid is not on anything like this. I mean, even on games like Roblox, there are parents who go as far as to block certain channels and certain things on there because there are pedophiles who are known to be in those apps who target children. So parents, you really need to be on watch. You really need to look out for your children. And I'm not saying you're not. I'm just saying that this app exists. There are probably multiple others like it that we haven't even heard about yet. Multiple other websites. I mean, I remember when I was growing up, like, Omegle was the thing. You know, you had chat roulette and Omegle. And kids would go on it on a Friday night with a group of their friends to go fuck with people, go troll people, go have conversations, whatever they wanted to do. But the entire website was filled with old men jacking off and then young kids. Those were the two levels of it. That was all there was on there. It was fucking absurd. It was absolutely insane. And the fact that so many kids were shown that, and like, again, my friend showed me that when I was a kid. The fact that so many kids lived through that experience, and then in today's day and age where we know how much more advanced technology has gotten, that we're still introducing new apps to do things like this, but on an even more private level, that's not okay. We need to do everything we can to remove pedophilia from our society. You know, the people arguing right now saying like, oh, AI pedophilia is some, like, there was that Dennis Prager video I showed you guys where Dennis Prager was saying that as long as the images are AI generated and no children are being harmed, that it would be okay. And it's like, Dennis Prager, you need to be in jail for life. Like, that's not an acceptable position. I'm almost always unwilling to punish someone for their beliefs. But if your beliefs in some way help pedophiles, I don't care. Jail for life. Death sentence, honestly. You're irredeemable at that point. You can't say that we should be sexually exploiting kids, or even if it's not the sexual exploitation of real kids, even if it's AI generated images, it's not okay to feed into pedophiles' deranged, sick behavior. We need to actually eradicate pedophiles. We need to remove them from society, chemically castrate them, and either put them in jail for life, and not in their own special unit where they're going to be protected. They need to be in the main unit where they're going to get fucking killed by a guy named Bubba in their fucking cell block. I mean, pedophiles deserve nothing. They deserve nothing but a death sentence. Pedophiles are the worst people to ever exist on this earth. It's one of the main reasons why I turned on Donald Trump. And I'm not necessarily calling Donald Trump a pedophile, but what I am saying is Donald Trump protected Jeffrey Epstein. Jeffrey Epstein, one of the most notorious pedophiles of all time. A blackmail artist as well, who blackmailed politicians, billionaires, businessmen, blackmailed all these popular world leaders and figures around the globe into a pedophile ring. And we can't have that. We can't have people protecting them. And it's when Donald Trump buried those files and said, if you are still talking about Epstein, like, you're a loser, I don't even want your support. It's like, okay, you lost mine right then and there. That was the moment. Like, you already had kind of lost my support from the bombing Iran and all that bullshit. But then when you said, I don't want your support anymore, okay, you lost my support. Sorry, I'm dying over here. I'm fucking dying right now. But I'm still getting through the show. You guys can see me fucking wiping my nose. Like, I'm literally dying right now. This is not a good day for me, but I'm glad to be back doing the show. I've done shows all week, but I've done like reaction streams, taking it slow. This is the first day that I'm really just fucking going hard, going back at it. But it feels good. I'm enjoying it at the same time, even though I literally cannot breathe out of my nose. My throat hurts like a motherfucker. But besides that, I mean, let's keep going on. I had some other things with this. But let's look at this article from The Hill real quick. The story has been an app called Wiz has been making headlines lately for connecting minors to sexual predators. Many have described this app as Tinder for kids. It's the same purpose of pursuing profiles to find someone you like. In other words, connecting with online strangers. But unlike Tinder, this app is targeted at both teens and adults. What's the result of the app design? A 12-year-old girl meeting with a supposed 14-year-old boy that Wiz connected her with, only to discover the boy was an adult male who sexually assaulted her. An 8th grader being sexually abused by a 27-year-old man, then finding out she was only one of several underage girls he had groomed through Wiz. An 11-year-old girl being sexually assaulted by a U.S. Marine she met on Wiz. Oh my. Sorry, guys. Give me one moment. All this in the last year alone, and there are many more cases. As reports of Wiz facilitating child sexual abuse continues to pile up, something must change with the app itself, and more broadly when it comes to online child safety. Just a few years back, a National Center on Sexual Exploitation urged app stores to remove Wiz on account of the rampant sexual exploitation occurring on the platform. Within 36 hours, both Google Play and the App Store agreed. Later on, Wiz was reinstated with what appeared to be a number of new safety tools that are still failing, by the way. As time went by, however, it became abundantly clear that Wiz was not as safe as it seemed. If the continued reports of sexual exploitation weren't convincing enough, the New York Post reported on what happened when the company's safety tools were directly pressure tested. Although Wiz claims to have a robust age verification, a 52-year-old man said he was able to create an account as a 15-year-old. How? Because even though the age verification tech flagged this man's profile for review, he said that Wiz moderators went ahead and approved it within minutes. This is even worse than not having any age verification to begin with. Wiz made claims of safety by boasting about tools like age verification, but behind the scenes, they actually directly overrode the concerns flagged by these tools. So the app itself and the employees of the app are basically helping the pedophiles out. I mean, it's absolutely insane that this is happening. It's absolutely insane that this was allowed to happen. Like, why would they create an app for Tinder for kids? Like, seriously, who the fuck thought this was a good idea? Seriously, who thought this was a good idea? Kids go to school to make friends. Kids go to the park to make friends. Kids go to the basketball court to make friends. Kids go to the gym to make friends. Kids go to all these different places to make friends. They don't need an online fucking app that can be abused by pedophiles and groomers. They don't need that. They do not need that. And again, most of all, over everything right here, this is a message to the parents. I know I'm not gonna I'm not gonna be the person who convinces the government to make this illegal. I wish I could be. I don't have that kind of power. But hopefully, to any parents who watch my show, check your kids' phones tonight. Don't feel bad doing it. Don't feel like you're a helicopter parent or a bad parent. Check your kids' phones tonight, and if they have this app, put a blocker on it, put a restriction on it, delete it, change the Apple ID account password, whatever you have to fucking do. Because this is disgusting. This is absurd. Keep your kids off sites like this. Keep your kids off apps like this. God's children are not for sale. And the fact that an app called Wiz is selling your kids out is disgusting, and these people need to burn in hell. These people deserve nothing. They need jail sentences, the people who run this app. Anybody who pressed approve on an old man's profile saying they were 15, jail, death sentence. Why do they deserve any better? They are protecting and allowing these pedophiles to groom your children. It's disgusting, and these people need to be removed from society. The people who created this app, removed from society, barred from technology for life. The people who are indulging in this app, the pedophiles themselves. We need guys like Ryan Montgomery to hack the shit out of this and let people know how many pedophiles are really on this app. Ryan Montgomery is one of the most ethical hackers who mainly spends his time trying to expose pedophiles. And Ryan Montgomery is someone we all have to cherish. Very good, very humble man as well. So I talk about it all the time, different people I'd love to interview. One of the people I would love to interview, is Ryan Montgomery. I've always been fascinated by guys like him he has the ability to literally, generate millions and billions for himself through hacking. But instead of doing that, he chose the ethical route where he works for companies and he works to expose pedophiles. And you guys know, if you watch my show, how much I dislike, I'm not going to say hate because hate is sinful, but how much I dislike pedophiles and how bad I think they are. And that's a very obvious statement, but pedophiles are the worst people to ever exist. And people like Ryan Montgomery deserve our praises. I am going to keep moving on to the next segment, but I thought this was insane. I thought the fact that this app even exists is so fucking insane, and it needs to be called out. More people need to be talking about this and calling it out. It's been trending on X all day. Hopefully the government does something about it, but we all know our government's not going to do shit. I mean, our government is filled with pedophiles, so why the fuck would they do anything? Half of them are probably on this fucking app right now. I do want to keep moving on, though. I want to show you guys this quick video, and this is posted by Sarah Stock. This is of the Fox News interview with Erika Kirk today, where Sarah Stock basically says, Candace Owens said that the only people that could stop her were Erika Kirk and God. Now Erika Kirk is saying stop. Will Candace stop? No, she's not. I was watching her show earlier today before I filmed this. She doubled down. She didn't stop. So we're going to watch this video. Candace lied about that. What a surprise. But I thought this video was really interesting. Here, give me one moment to get it set up. There we go.
Or anytime we hear anything, we send it to the authorities. Please dig into this. No rock will be unturned. I want justice for my husband, for myself, for my family, more than anyone else out there. So for me, you want to keep telling me to come down while we're building? I don't have time for that. But here's my breaking point on that. Come after me, call me names, I don't care. Call me what you want, go down that rabbit hole, whatever. But when you go after my family, my Turning Point USA family, my Charlie Kirk Show family, when you go after the people that I love, and you're making hundreds and thousands of dollars every single episode going after the people that I love because somehow they're in on this, no.
I have to say it. I've never seen you like this.
No, this is righteous anger because this is not okay. It's not healthy. This is a mind virus. Yes, I believe in our judicial system. I do. We have a hell of a team working on this. Excuse my French. But this is not okay.
So you want to put these people back in the box where they've been creeping from?
I don't care what box you're in. But just know that your words are very powerful, and we are human. My team are not machines, and they're not robots. They are human. We have more death threats on our team and our side than I have ever seen. I have kidnapping threats. I have, you name it, we have it. And my poor team is exhausted. And every time they bring this back up, what are we supposed to do? Relive that trauma all over again? They watched my husband get murdered. I have no idea how I would have reacted if I was there that day. And thank the good Lord that I did not have to see that happen. But my team, they are rocked to the core. So why every single day do they have to be dragged through the mud, analyzed, hyper-analyzed?
You know,
Yeah, I think they should be analyzed, but I don't think what Candace is doing is genuine at this point. I think the way she's drip-fed the information over 3 months and is monetizing it all is crazy. I've talked about that. I want to scroll down and see some of these comments. Yeah, where Sarah Stock responds, where she goes, today on the show, Erika Kirk goes off on the conspiracy theorists, read me. Will this strategy work on the general public? We learn about what Erika told Barry Weiss about the pesky Egyptian planes. Yeah, I mean,
Anytime we hear a lead,
I think
or anytime we hear
sorry about that. I didn't realize I started playing again. I think the entire thing has gone way too far. And again, I'm not saying they shouldn't be investigated, but my point is you are essentially accusing people of murder with not a lot of evidence. And I get it. I'm not going to say don't investigate Charlie's death. Definitely someone should be, and alongside the FBI, because the FBI is not to be trusted in a lot of ways. And I'm not saying I officially accept the FBI's narrative. I've said multiple times I think there was multiple shooters. I do think there was multiple people involved. There was one shooter, but multiple people involved. I do think George Zinn was there as a distraction. I do think that the text messages were fabricated. But I do think a lot of Candace's logic is flawed, and I think a lot of her tips are fake. And that needs to be called out. And if people aren't calling that out, we're just going to keep getting fed bullshit. And there are people who are really buying into this, which is kind of scary. But I want to keep going. I want to keep going with the show. And then I want to bring some up. I saw someone commented and then they deleted the comment because maybe they realized it was written in anger. And I'm not trying to directly call this person out. But they commented something about me when I was reading the comments about the Candace thing. And they were like, oh, you shouldn't be shitting on your viewers, blah, blah, blah. You wouldn't say stuff like that to my face. There are two things I want to acknowledge about that. One, I don't think threatening violence over words, and not that you're directly threatening violence, but saying you wouldn't say that to my face is the same thing as saying I would hit you if you said that to my face. It's okay. No offense, then it would prove me more right if that were to actually happen. It's like when you say, if you say the M word to a black guy and he shoots you over it, it kind of proves everything you were saying about them right. You know what I mean? But that's not the exact point I'm trying to make, but I do think there are people who are really buying into this narrative and not looking at the bigger picture of evidence, not looking at everything and not waiting a little bit of time to really understand the evidence. And they're just taking what Candace is saying is 100% true because she's getting it through tip lines. But like I said, there are people who are my viewers who have fed her false tips that she has read out on the show as real. So I find some of it very hard to trust. And again, I'm not saying go trust the official FBI narrative. Tucker Carlson even released a video about this today. But I am saying we should take it with a grain of salt. We should really try and avoid the larger conspiracies. We should try and focus on what is verified, what is proven, and what we can prove, not just speculation and bullshit. And the way she's drip-fed and monetized this, it's kind of crazy. But yeah, I mean, people get really worked up about this. People get really when people hate on my show, mainly it's because of the Candace thing. I mean, seriously, me talking about how I think Candace might be wrong gets me more shit than anything. I'm not going to shy away from it. Again, I still support Candace in her investigation, but at the same time, I don't support all the evidence. I don't think it's all real. I know for a fact some of it's not real because, like I said, my viewers have fed her false things that she still thinks are real. So I don't know what other information I could show to you guys to prove that it's kind of crazy at this point. And Erika Kirk, Candace said, only God and Erika Kirk can stop me. And Erika Kirk's trying to stop her, and she's doubling down. So it's I think a lot of this is for show, for money, for fame. I think Candace cares about fame a lot. I really do. If you look back at her entire history, how she got into politics, how she made money in the first place, I think she cares a lot about fame. So everyone can go down that rabbit hole. I do want to show the video that I was talking about of Tucker Carlson talking about this. Let me put it in like 1.25 speed. I always prefer that.
The 3 months since Charlie Kirk was murdered, I've really tried not to comment on the murder investigation in public, and it's not because I don't care, of course. I love Charlie and knew him well since he was a teenager. But I haven't said anything about it. I really tried not to say anything about it. First, because I don't really know anything that everyone else doesn't know. I've asked around, but of course, how do you know what the truth is? But the other reason I haven't said anything is because I know personally a number of the people involved in what's now become a very large story. I know them really well. And I really think a lot of all of them on every side. Candace Owens, I've known a long time. I love Candace Owens. Blake Neff at TPUSA once worked for me at a couple of different places, and I love Blake Neff. Erika Kirk, I've known since she was dating Charlie Kirk, and I love Erika Kirk. And I think these are all really, really decent people. And so it's been my desire for 3 months not to get involved in any of this. And in general, to think to myself, anybody who is earnestly searching for the truth, whether they're right or wrong, but as long as they're motivated by a desire to find out what happened and therefore honor Charlie's memory by getting to justice, anyone who's doing that, I'm not going to criticize. Again, no matter what track they're on, lots of us, and this has certainly happened to me, have good moments, but good motives, but wind up in the wrong place. But it's a sincere mistake. So that definitely happens. I have done that, and so I've just wanted to stay out. And then the other day, I had like a 3-hour conversation with Theo Vaughn, and it was not about Charlie Kirk or anything related to it, but that topic came up. And I said, in effect, I don't trust the FBI. And that gave some people the impression that I was, accusing them of being involved in Charlie's assassination. And of course, I wasn't, and I certainly didn't mean to. But it gives me the chance now to say what I think, which is that we should not necessarily trust the FBI. And by the way, why would we? It's not an attack on, the political leadership of it. I've known Dan Bongino, for example, for a long time, and like Dan, and don't imagine he would ever be involved in intentionally covering up a murder of somebody. I don't believe that. But Dan Bongino and Kash Patel, for that matter, are at the top of the org chart, but this is a huge organization, and parts of it act independently from leadership. That's the nature of bureaucracy. So saying, well, I like Dan Bongino and don't think he would do something wrong on purpose, which is how I feel, doesn't mean that I trust the FBI or have to trust the FBI. And again, why would I? If there's one lesson of the last election, the 2024 election, it's that a lot of our biggest systems, our biggest institutions have rot in them, and that needs to be reformed. And as if we needed more proof of it, we'd learned what a lot of us suspected for years, that January 6th was in effect a setup, and the FBI was key to that setup. And it's still not clear that everyone involved in that setup at the FBI has been fired or punished for that. So no person, no American is under some moral obligation to believe everything the government tells you, particularly institutions or agencies that have a long documented, factually documented track record of committing crimes, participating illegally in our political system, for example, as the FBI has done, manufacturing crimes, setting people up, distorting justice. That's the opposite of their job, of course, which is to get to justice through facts and then to tell the rest of us how they arrived at this conclusion, to prove to the rest of us that the right people are being punished. So we're not under any obligation. Of course, we shouldn't invent theories to discredit the FBI, but it's not enough to have government officials tell us, well, this is the truth. We have a right, probably an obligation to say, well, can you prove it? And if you can't, I don't have to believe you. So if there's one thing that bothers me above all about the investigation into Charlie Kirk, is that is getting lost. As people argue over what happened, we are potentially letting our largest federal law enforcement agency off the hook. It is the job of the FBI to find out what happened and to tell the rest of us, not hide behind, well, it's national security, confidential sources. No, tell us what happened. Show us what happened. Convince us what happened. That's your job. And we shouldn't accept anything less. And by the way, when we do accept something less, then, new explanations fill the vacuum left by the FBI, which we pay to explain to us what happened. And so I'm going to really do my best not to talk about things I don't understand, state things as though I know them when I don't know them. I'm going to do my best to stay out of it because I love Charlie and I want justice to be done in this case. But the rest of us should remain skeptical. We have a duty to remain skeptical, and we should not be ashamed of our skepticism. Thanks.
See, I thought that was a better take than what Candace does, for a lot of reasons. I like that he didn't specifically call anybody out without evidence and said he's not going to speak about things he doesn't know about for sure and try and ruin people's lives, especially in this political climate. I mean, someone from Turning Point USA, Charlie Kirk, got assassinated. For Candace to then point the finger at Turning Point USA and say all these people are guilty, that puts a target on their back that doesn't need to be there. And if these people are guilty, they shouldn't be, taken out by vigilantes. They should be dealt with by the law. And I agree with him. We can't really always trust the FBI. We can't always trust law enforcement. We've known that. I mean, we've known that for our entire lives, essentially, that the FBI and CIA and these government agencies cannot be trusted. We've known that for a very long period of time. And that's why I continue to say I do not really believe the official FBI narrative, but I'm not sold on Candace's theory that it is Turning Point USA, essentially, who did it, or it is Erika Kirk who's covering it up, or it is these Egyptian planes, or it was Israel. Like, I don't know for certain any of those things are true, so it would be very unfair to the people at Turning Point USA to directly point the finger in the way she has. I think being skeptical is okay, but I think directly trying to put targets on people's back or ruin their lives or every ounce of credibility they've tried to build up, I don't think is a great thing. And that's where I think I disagree with a couple of my viewers, and I definitely disagree with Candace. I don't think what Candace is doing is genuine at this point. I really think it's a little bit of a money grift. I mean, she's drip feeding the information. Like the other day she posted, she's like, I went to church and I prayed for an answer and God gave it to me. It's like, you're hearing things in your dreams, you're speaking to God, you had the bee theory, you had the shirt theory, you had the palm pistol theory, the energy weapon, the tunnel, Israel, Egypt, then it became Andrew Colvett, then it became Erika Kirk. Like, it's bounced around a lot, and people need to acknowledge that. And a lot of Candace's fans are not acknowledging that at all. So I think what he's giving out here is a better message where it's like, yes, we should be skeptical. We should put pressure on the FBI to be more transparent with the American people. But at the same time, just pointing the finger willy-nilly at anybody, it's probably not the correct answer. So I thought that was a good message. I don't trust Tucker on everything, but I do like Tucker a little bit. So he did give Nick a chance, even though he kind of went backwards afterwards, which was really odd too. But I want to get into the next part of Candace, which I think I'm not trying to discredit Candace fully, but I am just trying to prove a point that her Candace intelligence agency is not right, and it's not right often. Like, there are times when I'm sure they are right, but there are a lot of times where they're just full of fucking shit, and this was one of them. So she goes, the shooting Tim Pool survived in December of 2022 was committed by his brother, by the way. His brother was the one who fired the weapon on his property. He cannot deny this fact. And then he responded with a video. It's a 24-minute video, so we're not going to watch the whole thing. We're really only going to watch, I think within the first couple minutes, he explains this pretty well. So we're just going to watch that part of it within the first couple minutes, and then we'll talk about it. But this just shows that a lot of the things from the Candace Intelligence Agency can be debunked pretty quickly.
That came out recently, talking about how Candace Owens says she left the cult of science, which explains why she doesn't actually vet anything she says, which I believe would show a reckless disregard for the truth.
Yeah. If
you know what I'm implying there. Well, she put out a tweet last night, and we're going to break down the claims she's making, as well as Cam Higbee, who actually called the proper sheriff department and confirmed there was indeed a shooting at our property. Now, these people who follow Candace just want to believe. They don't care what's true, and no amount of evidence will change their mind. Hence, when some random guy calls the wrong police station and they say, I have no idea what you're talking about, he goes, aha! And then all of his followers are like, well, that proves it. When Cam Higbee then gets on the phone and they're like, yeah, this actually happened, we can confirm this, they go, I don't believe it. It's a fake phone call. You made it up. No, it can't be real. There's no standard with these people because they just want to believe it. Candace Owens, who speaks in the third person and in the plural, tweeted, the shooting Tim Pool survived in December of 2022 was committed by his brother, by the way. His brother was the one who fired the weapon on his property. He cannot deny this fact. Let me just make this very, very clear. I have never claimed to have survived a shooting that took place on my property where my brother fired, implying he fired upon me. Why is Candace framing it this way? because she knows the actual story was that I tweeted out in December of 2022, 2 people broke into one of the properties I own, and a staff member opened fire on them because we have armed security and staff. Now, the response to this is people making insane claims that my brother Chris broke onto my property and then fled from security. I assure you, though my brother and I have fought as children and to different degrees in adulthood, I would say the last physical confrontation we ever had was probably when we were like 14 or 15, something like that. You know, because brothers fight sometimes. That's it. But it's like that family thing. It's like we're allowed to fight each other, but no one's allowed to besmirch the good name of my family. Candace Owens put survived in quotes. I never said those words relating to the burglary because I explicitly stated and was reported on our website I was not at this property. So why did she put the word survived in quotes? Well, we can make the argument maybe she's trying to, do air quotes like survived, like, ha. That would imply I'm dead. If it was like, you're doing air quotes, like I didn't survive it. It would also, alternatively, imply I used that word. She's putting it in quotes, as if I claimed I survived a shooting. Never happened. Committed by his brother. The implication is pretty dang obvious, isn't it? There was a shooting committed by my brother, and I survived it. And what is the response from her followers? That my brother Chris tried to kill me. That he broke onto my property and tried to kill me. I can, with absolute certainty, say this is a lie. And Candace is intentionally misrepresenting a story published on our website about intruders being shot at by a staff member. Now, why would she do something like this? Why would Candace lie about something like this? Could it be that she's lying about everything? She's claiming Tim's in having some kind of personal issues. Well, I guess that's fair to say getting shot at is a personal issue. I'd call it a professional issue. She's saying that I'm having financial distress. Well, if the argument is we are a profitable company, we are comfortable, and I have a $20,000 meteorite John sitting next to me. However, due to the shots fired and the death threats and the assassination of Charlie Kirk, we now have to spend substantially more money on security. I'll take it. Yes, financial concerns over the fact that we don't make enough money to hire a round-the-clock security detail like would be required following the shots fired at our property. That is, we already have security, it's already expensive, and it's factored into the cost, and we are profitable. We have always been profitable. We have never been in deficit, and I am doing just fine. Now she's saying, what did she say? Someone told me that she said that I lost a $100,000 poker game and came home and beat my wife or something like that. I have never played a $100,000 poker game, and the most I ever lost in a poker game was at the Lodge in Austin, which was a $5,000 poker game. To be fair, I did buy back in, and I ended up losing $7,000, $7,100 to be exact, to which I am not particularly sweating. Now, I understand. Some people are like, Tim, you're out of touch. You're like, well, it was a promotional event, and it was valuable to go out into other spaces. And quite honestly, I literally don't care. It's not $100,000 and I can afford it. I would never play a $100,000 game. That's insane. A lot of people do. Now, to be fair, if someone sponsored me or staked me, we got an upcoming.
If anyone wants to stake me on a $100,000 poker game, I will win for you. I mean, again, allegedly, I don't want to lose your money but I'm good at poker. I will win for you. Just throwing that out there.
Game in Vegas. I'm sponsored. The money's being spent there is coming from sponsors. And I don't got to spend any money. See, that's the thing about being on big shows. Companies pay you. And then I can use that money for the show. Now, let me do this. And the beating wife thing is the stupidest thing imaginable. It's desperation. She's claiming we're trying to sell the company. If anything, we're trying to wind down because of security threats, not sell. It's the stupidest thing ever because Ian Carroll claimed that we were trying to buy the Daily Wire. Like literally like we would buy. So here we go. Cam Higbee. I just called the correct sheriff's department that serves Tim Cast's compound. They verified report of the shooting promptly the following day. This lines up with Tim's post the next day, which said his team would coordinate with law enforcement. Now, Cam did make a mistake. He indeed made a mistake. It's unfortunate, but he did. There was no report the next day. See, Cam incorrectly said that it would have taken place on the 5th. As I pointed out, it was between midnight and 1 a.m., which puts it squarely on the 6th. It was indeed the 6th the shooting took place. And the 6th is the day that we filed the report because we filed it literally the moment it happened. And police came out, did patrols, took a report from our security company. But you know what? No amount of evidence will change the mind of these lunatics. You know what they're going to say? They're going to say, Tim's working for the Jews and he got the call. I don't work for Turning Point. I don't work for Daily Wire. I don't work for the Jews. And they have no response. So you want to know why it is that Candace is making up all this stupid garbage? He looks like he just lost a $100,000 poker game. He's trying to sell his company because she can't say it. She said I was trying to audition for a Zionist. Uh-oh. because she can't actually make any kind of accusation because we don't. Because we're an independent company with no investors. All of the money that we get comes from memberships, sponsorships, and sometimes licensing deals. Here's the video from Cam.
Sheriff's office. Sorry, I got tongue-tied. Sheriff's office.
No worries. Hi, this is Cameron Higby. I just wanted to call and verify receipt of a report that should have been filed with you guys, or an incident.
Okay. Do you have the incident number?
No, I have the name of the person and the incident. So there was a shooting in Tim Pool's compound, and I wanted to make sure that you guys are aware of that. It would have been last night, so it would have been the night of 12/5. It might have been reported the following morning.
It was the early morning of 12/6. As I said, midnight and 1 a.m.
Thank you for holding. I'm so sorry.
Yep, no worries. That's totally okay.
Yeah, we just got bombarded with an issue here, so.
I totally get it. No, you guys have more important things to do, I'm sure.
Okay, so it says here it was a third-party caller that called it in.
Okay, and what road did you say that was?
Oh.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Cool. Just want to check if that would be the right road. It says a third-party caller, and was it that incident I described where somebody drove up and kind of just shot at the place?
Yes.
Amazing. Okay. Well, I'm glad that's on your guys'
Amazing.
radar. And that was in, right?
Yes, sir.
Amazing. Okay. Thank you so much for verifying that. I appreciate it a lot.
So here's the impossible game they play. I got more posts. Oh, this post was deleted. Halls and the kid, Jess, who works here, says, let me do you a favor. You were all wrong and you aren't going to get the receipts you want. I know you'll just call me a liar or make up some awful reason to dismiss me, but the security footage exists. I've seen it. More so the timestamp it happened. Had it happened Thursday night instead of Friday night, I would have been in the line of fire while I was leaving work. If I had been another casualty in the political violence we live with, would you all be satisfied? There are, when this happened, we actually have...
That's going to be all we watch, man. Like I said, we're only going to watch a bit of it. I didn't even realize we went through 10 full minutes. Holy shit. Sorry about that, guys. I just thought... I wanted to show you guys that Candace isn't always honest. Candace and her intelligence agency don't always get things right. And a lot of that is happening. Like, Candace is getting more emails and more attention than she's ever gotten in her entire career. I think some of the attention's getting to her head. And some of the false information, it's obviously hard to sift through with the team she has. She's not able to verify every claim, and she takes a lot of the claims as truth. And that's what's going on with this Tim Pool thing. And I think some of that's what's happening with the Charlie Kirk investigation as well. And it's not to discredit all the information. There has been some great information that Candace has produced and that I think the FBI should look into. But at the same time, I don't think her entire theory is correct. I think it's flawed in a lot of ways. And I don't think that the Candace Intelligence Agency is as smart as everyone thinks they are sometimes. And again, I'm not saying there's not some good tips, but there's probably way more bad tips than there is good tips. I mean, there's no doubt in my mind that the bad tips heavily outweigh the good tips that come through. I do want to keep moving on with the show. Sorry, I'm literally dying over here, guys. But we only have a few more things to go through, and then we're going to go to the comments. We're on the back half of the show right now. I want to show a video from Brett Groyper. Oh, yeah, I mean, we love Brett Cooper. We fucking love Brett Cooper over here. But Brett Cooper was asked in an interview about Jewish gangsters running the country and about condemning Nick Fuentes and all these things. Let's watch. Let's take a quick look.
Conversation that people have a right to say what they want to say.
Yes.
There is then the matter of what Nick Fuentes and some other people have said. Fuentes, this is a quote from a video in an interview with Alex Jones. Jewish elite gangsters that run our country. And in the Tucker Carlson interview, he talks about how he feels that Jews are extremely organized across borders and more loyal to Israel than to their home countries, which is a long-time anti-Semitic kind of idea. When we get down,
it's anti-Semitic to say that something that's happening is happening. That someone like Ted Cruz literally says, "If you don't stand with Israel, I don't stand with you." When he's supposed to be representing Americans, when Randy Fine is posting pictures of dead kids, celebrating them, and saying that we need to be better allies with Israel, send more money and more weapons to Israel. When we have people in the American government proposing bills to give IDF soldiers veterans benefits in America. No, yeah, that's super anti-Semitic to bring up.
Down to the substance of what Nick Fuentes says. Do you agree with it?
You know, I don't agree with Nick Fuentes on everything. I don't agree with anybody on everything. I think that what especially older generations, need to learn about Nick Fuentes is that he says it himself, he's an edgelord. He says things that are intentionally inflammatory. He knows that a lot of people are not going to agree with him. He knows that it is incredibly inflammatory. And honestly, I don't pay much attention to it.
Do you think that Jewish gangsters are controlling the country?
No, not really. I am concerned about the impact of Israel in our country. I think that a lot of young people are. And I'm concerned about it in the way of, young people's biggest concern.
I'm glad Brett Cooper's in the media, but she should have just done PR. I mean, she's good at it.
Right now on both sides of the aisle is the economy. We are concerned about being able to buy homes. We are concerned about affordability. And so when we see the news, when we see how much money is being sent overseas to Ukraine, to Israel, whatever it may be, my generation is concerned. We are upset. It's not because of anti-Semitism. It is not because we, dislike people because of their race or their beliefs or their creed. It is simply like, this is what we're focusing on. Like, at the end of the day, I think I and so much of my generation is just tired of it. Like, I want to focus on American issues. And so when we spend all day
this anti-Semitic bitch, that's what he's thinking right now. He's like, this anti-Semitic cunt is really saying this?
talking and bickering about foreign affairs and where all the money is going. It's like, I want to get back to how are we going to make life affordable for my generation? And if you're going to be focusing on what's going on overseas and making that your big priority, like, I honestly, to be totally transparent, and I think most of my generation would agree, I don't care. And so as a result, I don't pay much attention to it. I direct my attention to American issues, to positive things. I amplify voices that I believe are good and truthful and wholesome. And that is what I focus on.
Yeah. We love you, Brett. Brett, thank you. Brett Groiper's in the house, baby. Brett Cooper. We accept you. We're very glad that you're here. You're one of the only Floyds we like right now. Not a lot of them in the media. But I really think Brett should have done PR. She would be really fucking good at it. But I'm glad we have her in the media. I want to show just the last few things that I had lined up for the show today. Two things. I don't know why I keep doing that, why I keep switching tabs, but I have two things and then one stupid thing to show you guys. But this is the video of the DoorDash girl who is, if you guys don't remember, this is the woman who was arrested on 2 felony charges after recording a man passed out with his pants down in his home and posted on TikTok during a food delivery, saying that she was sexually assaulted. And then here is the quick video.
The Oswego City judge allowing News Channel 9 to record the proceedings. The first look at 23-year-old Olivia Henderson outside her popular TikTok page.
Their front door was wide open, and they were within eyesight of the front door, laying on the couch indecently exposed to me.
This is her last post, published October 26th, 2 weeks after her now-deleted video causing this controversy. Working as a driver for delivery service DoorDash, Henderson claimed she was dropping off a food order when through the customer's door, saw him on the couch naked. After posting her footage, she reported the incident to Oswego police as sexual harassment.
Some of the claims that she had made on social media after the fact were not in fact true.
Investigators determined the man, drunkenly unconscious on his couch, did nothing wrong. But he found out
Yeah, a guy literally got drunk, ordered DoorDash, passed out on his couch drunk. And it's, again, not the crazy. Like, I went to college in West Virginia. That was like a normal Thursday or Friday for a lot of people over there. Like, a lot of people would do that. My old roommate has done that. I mean, he didn't leave the door open, but, like, whatever. Who gives a fucking shit? It's his house. Not that people should be leaving their door open, but you get my point. And this woman's like, I was a victim. It's like, no, you're not. You are a terrible person. You're a cunt.
Images of him were published for thousands of TikTok users to see. So police criminally charged Henderson with 2 counts related to unlawful surveillance. Court documents accuse her of recording, quote, intimate parts without consent when he had a reasonable expectation of privacy.
And to all those that have been supportive of me during this time, thank you so much.
For as talkative as she's been on TikTok until now, she had nothing to say while leaving the courthouse.
Livy, do you want to say anything about what happened?
And they didn't include it in the video, but one of the things the judge said, maybe you guys read it here, but She asked for no cameras to be in the courtroom, and the judge responded, so now you don't want cameras to be involved? W, Judge. W, Judge. We need more judges like that. That's awesome. But yeah, I'm glad this woman's getting sentenced finally. She deserves it. Terrible person. I want to go on to this next thing. I briefly touched on this yesterday, but we'll talk about it for a second more. But there was a Cinnabon employee who was being harassed by multiple Somalian immigrants who were harassing her for not wearing a hijab. Again, this is America. This isn't your shit third world country. But they were harassing her for it, and this woman wasn't having a great day, and she decided to say a few slurs. She decided to say the N-word to them multiple times, and they videoed it. They didn't report what they did, but then they reported what she responded with. They got this woman fired, and again, I don't necessarily agree, but I understand why a corporate place isn't going to keep that person on. That's not crazy to understand why. But this is what I wanted to talk about. This woman has raised over $130,000. And this number is still growing. I mean, this number is still growing. Let's actually click on it now. Let's see where it's at right now. $146,000. I don't know if you guys could see. It's like blocked there, but it's right there. If you guys could see, it's right there on the right under the QR code. But meet Crystal, hardworking mom doing her job at Cinnabon. Two Somali customers decided to make her shift hell with intimidation. Instead of banning the offenders and backing their employees, Cinnabon fired Crystal to keep the nuns happy. We're not letting this slide. Funds go to making sure Crystal lands on her feet after this betrayal. No white person should lose their job for refusing to be harassed by Somalians. This woman hopefully can reach her goal of $271,000. But this is awesome. I mean, this woman is making bank off this. This woman is getting fucking paid right now. This says Shiloh Hendricks got paid. Our girl Crystal's getting paid. If you guys got any extra funds, feel free to send it over to her. Because, yeah, again, I'm not going to say what she said was perfect or what she did was perfect. We all have bad days. We all have our bad moments. We all have moments. But at the same time, this was a woman who was being harassed at her job. And not in the way the DoorDash driver was saying that she was, that was all bullshit. But this one was actually being harassed at her job. And that was documented on video of these Somalians who were harassing the shit out of her. And she responded. She said, get the fuck out of my country. She called them the N-word. She was flipping them off. Again, this woman most likely didn't deserve to be fired. But since she is, and like I said, I understand why a corporate place would. That's how corporate places generally operate. This woman deserves to land on her feet. Her kids do not deserve to suffer because Somalian immigrants who shouldn't have been in our country in the first place were harassing her. So we're going to stand with Crystal here. And for people who don't like that, I don't give a shit. And this is the last thing I wanted to show. This woman's a groipette. If you don't know what that is, it's a female groiper. And I don't know. This video is getting a lot of attention on social media. Even Piers Morgan quote tweeted it. It's fucking weird, though. But it's kind of funny, but it's weird. I don't know what to think. We're going to play it. We're going to talk about it for a second, then we'll go on to the comments.
Hi, welcome to Callie Groiper Piggyverse. Imagine you're a boomer. You think, well, I bought a house when I was 20, and I have a college degree, and I'm just so much smarter. I'm 67 years old. Gen Z doesn't know anything. Decide to debate the most powerful person in Gen Z, Piers Morgan, Nick Fuentes. Psh, psh, get back to work, Piers Morgan. Oh, psh, psh. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I was ratioed, live television, ratioed, stream. Psh, psh. God bless. Hi, welcome to Callie.
This girl, she openly has autism, so maybe that's playing a part. I don't know if this is weird or funny. I can't even make up my mind on it. It's fucking a little odd, though, for sure. Definitely a little weird, right? I mean, I want to know what you guys think, but I think it's a little weird. But she's all over social media. This girl's blowing up. Pretty insane, the numbers she's actually doing. But that's the entire show today, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed the show. Said it was going to be a shorter show, and we still hit the hour mark. Wow. But who cares? I had fun doing it, even though I'm feeling like shit. I want to remind everyone to smash the follow button, leave a comment, let me know what you think about the show. Read all the comments at the end of every show. Rate the show 5 stars on Spotify. Leave a comment. Scan the code up in the corner. Join our Telegram channel. But with that, let's get right into our comments for the day. Let me X out of some tabs here. Get our comments pulled up. right, let's get to the comments. Here's the first one.
I was gonna try to restrain from leaving a message. Nick, don't agree with all his stuff and hearing this one hurts a bit, but it's good to hear. It's good to reel in, but some stuff he doesn't know anything about. But that's fine, I get it, he ain't wrong on this, but it's all perspective. I really just came here to say, this like dude watching giggling like he's Nick's little UGF. God, there's a closeted lack of testosterone going on there. Hope Nick don't break lure here. Nick's pretty good concise.
What, do you want me to beat you to show you have testosterone? Shut up, woman. I love when women want to try and police men. Like, shut up, bitch. Shut up. Shut the fuck up. You sound retarded. You're literally an inferior woman. Like, next comment.
People die all the time. Nicholas J. Fuentes. Speaking about the most significant political assassination in modern history, face with tears of joy, James I. Like Nick, I really do, but I can also disagree with him. Dude is beta AF, but he has some good views. Just wish he could stop acting like his enemy Shapiro. I think he needs some trim and it would change his life.
He needs some trim? Are you saying he needs to get laid? He's a Catholic. Again, I just don't see the, I don't see the evidence pointing to what Candace is saying is correct yet. And again, if Candace is right, I'll be the first to apologize, but it doesn't seem like it's all there yet. And then this was your follow-up response.
Ian Carroll made Nick look like a kid, by the way.
No, he didn't. Like, he didn't.
Thinking face, Ukraine is in Russia's sphere of influence.
Okay.
Fiddle is my god.
Fidel's a retard. If Fidel's your god, you're retarded. Jesus Christ is king. That's it.
How do you make it to where you'll never hear this guy again on Spotify? This preteen saying we're back baby is as far as I get, and it's just so repulsive. This is a serious matter.
If you kill yourself, you won't hear it again. That's a good tip.
This interview had me laughing so hard. Nick is the fucking man. Piers was shook when Nick doubled down on Piers' failed attempts to get a gotcha moment. America first, baby.
Yeah, America first. Piers was a seething boomer in that interview.
The losers don't write history. Native Americans lost the war. Stop crying about it.
Yeah, they were also savages killing and eating each other.
1. Bloody wars were fought to decide who controls things here. Tough shit if you don't like who won and who lost. If every losing side of wars gets to turn around and have their say, what's the point of anything, ever? 2. If they can ignore due process on the way in, they can ignore it on the way out also. Fuck them. Deport them all.
Yeah, another thing they cut out of that from the Jubilee thing was when they, I asked him, I was like, what do you think due process should be? He's like, they should all have a court case. I'm like, so if we could prove this person's in the country illegally, you still think we should put them through a whole trial? He's like, yes. And then I'm like, well, my due process is showing that they're an illegal immigrant and removing them. And that's it. That's all the due process I fucking need.
Your episode title is like asking, should ice cream be put in a freezer?
Yeah, it's just the Jubilee title copy and pasted. But yeah, I agree. I mean, it's like, should illegal immigrants be mass deported? Yes, no fucking question. But for some reason, those liberals, and still to this day, they think they're right on that.
The only thing Piers did that I agreed with was when he disparaged Meghan Markle. He's not even a good interviewer. He's low level like Anderson Cooper.
Yeah, no, he's not.
Buddy, you're making yourself look like a stooge. You need to learn what primary sources are and learn how to utilize them, because the fact that you swallowing under Nick's desk are just as compromised as he is. Candace never made an offer to be there in person. She consistently made an offer to appear virtually, which is obviously one of the most common methods used by podcasters today. Makes total sense given her circumstances. I also noticed you neglected to mention at all. 1/2.
So you said you were gonna write that was just one half of a message, but you didn't put the other half, retard. Okay, this is my problem with a lot of the Candace viewers, and it's like, first of all, if you go back, she did fucking. They said we would love to have you at the studio to talk about this, and she goes, name a time, name a place, and then when they name a time and a place, she says I can appear virtually. Then she says it. But she said, name a time, name a place, when they said, come to the studio and we will have a conversation. That is saying that you will go in person. How is that so fucking hard to get through your thick fucking skull? Like, how is that hard to understand? Do you have brain cells in there? Could you pass an IQ test? Like, shut the fuck up. Oh my. And saying, like, I need original sources, not just listen to Nick. You realize I watch every one of Candace's streams? Why do you think my show is at the time it's at? Why do you think my show is sometimes late? Because I am watching Candace's show before I do mine. Because I talk about Candace a lot on this show. I'm not just getting all my information from Nick, you fucking retard. I watch her show. I hear it from her fucking mouth. I also watch Turning Point USA's show. I watch all these different shows. Do you? I fucking doubt it. Shut the fuck up, you fucking retard. Like, people who are that fucking dumb, I have no sympathy for. Seriously, no fucking sympathy.
Dude, I was surprised to see you there in video loudly crying face with tears of joy.
Yeah, it was fun to be on Jubilee.
Also check out this video. People are standing up to gay mob culture.
Alright, I'll check it out. Give me a sec. Let me put it in. Yeah, I'll put it on the big screen. What are they doing? The fucking haka? I'm not gonna watch the whole thing because I think it's probably just gonna be 3 minutes of that, but nice. And then you put another link and you said I'm going to disagree with this one. So let's see what it is.
My opinions about what is currently taking place between these United States and Venezuela. The reason I'm biased is because I'm not a big fan of 6-hour-long breadlines. You know what I mean? Not a big fan of totalitarian communist regimes. However, one of the funniest things that has come as a result of all of this is seeing how the wokety woke folk on the left are not only all raising up the Venezuelan flag, which is deeply ironic because most Venezuelans don't want this either. Okay? So technically, they are actually in support of the establishment that is oppressing those people. But even greater than that is how all of a sudden we got these wokety woke folk on the left. Get this. Fighting for the rights of the cartel. Dope smuggling.
I'm just pausing it for a second. It's like, I don't mind you commenting on my videos and like leaving a link for me to put on, but it's like, what the fuck's the point in this video so far? And this guy's got to speed up his fucking. This is why I put videos in 1.25. I cannot listen to people who fucking talk slow.
Narcos. You can't make this type of stuff up.
Sick video. Like, I don't I don't fucking get it. Like, what do I disagree with there? I don't think we should be pushing a regime change on our tax dollars. That shouldn't be controversial. We have generations who can't afford dick, but we're gonna go send more money overseas. I don't agree with that. But no, I'm not pro communism. So what the fuck is your like? I don't get that. Well, you're gonna disagree with these? It's like, what? Yeah, one more comment.
Dude, it's getting rough out here. I went to Walmart, got 2 6-packs of Liquid Death. 1 bag of M&Ms and 1 Cellas was $31.
And they want us to send more money overseas. It's crazy. I'm sorry I had to deal with that. I just made a shitty joke there. But yeah, I mean, shit is way too expensive. Way too expensive. And Liquid Death, I'm pretty sure, has like plastic inside of it. So you're not really avoiding the microplastics, to my knowledge. I mean, you see me. I drink out of my mug, but I'm literally like pouring a fucking water bottle into it. I don't drink coffee. I drink water. I'm drinking Gatorade now because I'm sick, but I really don't drink coffee at all. I don't need the energy. If I need energy, I'll just, like, this isn't even an ad or anything. If they want to sponsor me, I'll take it, but you can't even see it with the green screen. Neurogum. That's what I use. I use Neurogum. I like that stuff. I just like chewing gum in general, and it gives you caffeine and B12. Yeah, that's been all the comments. Let's refresh it, see if we have anything else. Oh, that's about it. Okay, that's gonna be the entire show for the day. Sorry for the person I crashed out on, but it's like, some of you guys gotta realize, it's, you can't, like, you're saying, oh, you're believing everything Nick's saying. You're believing everything Candace is saying, and Candace is way less credible. And I don't necessarily believe everything Nick says, but at the same time, I agree with Nick's analysis on it more, and I also agree with my own analysis on it more. I literally watch all of Candace's streams. I don't know. I find it to be kind of insane sometimes, but let me know what you guys think in the comments. Please remember to like, smash the follow button, leave a comment, let me know what you think about the show. I'll read all the comments at the end of tomorrow's show. Hopefully I'm feeling better. There'll be a show either way, though. Remember to rate the show 5 stars on Spotify. Scan the code up in the corner. Join our Telegram channel. Stay updated on all things America Unfiltered. But with that, I'm going to sign off today. Hope you guys do have a blessed day, a blessed night, and I will see you guys tomorrow on Thursday. Thank you.